Normally, when a team is slated to own the number one overall pick, the franchise has been going in the wrong direction. I think people forget the Bears won 7 games last year. They dealt with Carolina, got the top pick. They did go 7-10, and they were in the hunt for a playoff spot there for a little while. But they have the number one overall pick because Carolina was terrible last year. The potential landing spot for Caleb Williams now looks even more promising. They went out and they signed DeAndre Swift. He's a do-it-all back. He'll catch some passes out of the backfield. They improved their defense. They got a couple of promising defensive backs. They bolstered the offensive line. And then yesterday they traded for Keenan Allen. He's been a Pro Bowl wide receiver 6 times. And you always have to say the following with Keenan Allen: when healthy. Because when healthy, he's very, very good. So you partner him with DJ Moore, who had 1,300 yards receiving. And Chicago's offense now looks a little bit more formidable here. Now, it feels like they're doing all of these things to then bring in Caleb Williams. They're going to give him weapons, unlike what Carolina did with Bryce Young. And Trevor Lawrence finished with the league's worst record his first season as a starter in Jacksonville. Joe Burrow in 2020, he got injured. They finished 4-11. Kyler Murray, his first year, 2019, his team won 5 games. Baker Mayfield was selected by a winless Cleveland Browns team in 2018. You're going into situations where you're asked to be the savior, but that's not going to happen unless you have some help there. It looks like the Bears have learned from other people's lessons. And even Justin Fields, when they had him, they still have him, surround these quarterbacks with some talent. Give them a chance at least to get off the ground. And it looks like that's what Chicago's doing. Now, there's still a lot of speculation or wonderment. Hey, are they going to stay with Justin Fields? Okay, we don't know. We don't know for sure. But, maybe they do. Maybe they keep him. But they still take Caleb Williams. I would be surprised if anybody went up to get Caleb Williams. Washington, D.C., where he's from, I would be happy with Jaden Daniels. I wouldn't even blink an eye. Be like, we'd love to have him. He's from here, but we like Jaden Daniels. Are the Patriots going to go up and get him? What do you have to go up and get him? What's it going to cost you? If you were going to trade for C.J. Stroud right now, what would C.J. Stroud cost you? If you called the Texan and said, hey, we'll give you what? You already know how good he is. 1 year, solve the code. Do you give 4 first-round picks for him? You'd be giving more for C.J. Stroud than you would for Caleb Williams, right? Are you going to go up? We've seen the teams that go up and get these guys. It doesn't work out very often. Carolina did it. That didn't work out. They went up and got the wrong guy, or at least the appearance of the wrong guy. The Niners with Trey Lance, the Bears. We've seen this before where you're going up there. Mitch Trubisky, we got to have him. Okay, nobody else wants him, but we've got to have him. And now Caleb Williams. I can't imagine a team going, let's say the Raiders. And this was brought up to me. What about the Raiders? Could the Raiders go up and get Caleb Williams? I go, sure. But what are you giving up? I mean, if you're going to give the 13th pick, and what else are you going to give up? All right, I'm not interested if I'm the Bears. You have to really knock them down and say, you can't pass up on this offer. I just don't see a team, and I haven't heard any possible trade proposals. Now, we have a lot of time before the draft, but I think the Bears, worst case scenario, they keep Justin Fields for a year, and then maybe you have that backup in case something happens to Caleb Williams, or you don't have to play him right away, that you can play Justin Fields, and then you can bring in Caleb Williams. I said this yesterday, I've seen a couple of NFL reporters who picked up on this. I think Philadelphia would be the ideal place for Justin Fields because is Jalen Hurts going to stay healthy? And if he happens to get hurt, that team is ready to go. I mean, they went out. The Eagles have made some moves. You don't want to have all of this talent and then you don't have your quarterback there. And Justin Fields doesn't cost you anything. You'd be able to bring him in 1 year. You're not going to pay him a lot of money. He's due $25 million next year. You could even franchise him if you wanted to. But I can't see that happening either. It's bring him in, let him be insurance for Jalen Hurts. I mentioned the Giants as a possible destination for Justin Fields. Put him in there. Put a little pressure on Danny Dimes. I can't imagine Daniel Jones will be there the following year. Maybe Justin Fields is your future there. But right now, the Bears in a holding pattern, or at least we're given the impression that it's a holding pattern, and maybe they keep him. Maybe they don't draft Caleb Williams. Maybe they trade the number 1 pick. I don't see that happening, but there is that possibility. I just think that the Bears thought somebody was going to be more interested in Justin Fields as a starter. Maybe it was Pittsburgh if Russ didn't go there. Maybe it was Atlanta if Kirk D. Cousins didn't go there. The perfect situation didn't play out for them. And now they have him. And do they keep him or, get close to draft day? Or maybe you keep him and then you trade him during the season. If somebody, considering we had 65 different starting quarterbacks last year, that maybe you're able to get more during the season than prior to the season.